Hello everyone and welcome back to the Carousel of Progress Let's Build. This is going to be episode 5 and today we are finishing up the 1920s scene. We're starting off on the side show on the right and you'll notice that we already have a bunch done and you didn't see how we did it. That is down to me being stupid. I forgot to press record when I started building this scene. So you're just gonna have to take it from here. In this scene, the wife of the family is out on the patio and she is making 4th of July costumes for herself and her husband. And they are going as George and Martha Washington, just like in the real show. So she's sitting down on this chair out on the porch, and you can see we just built the porch using some nice wooden columns, some wood planks on the sides to get that wall texture, and then some black panels in the back to make it look like the nighttime behind her. I threw on some drapes to make it look like she had a dress, and then we're going to give her a drape kind of in her hand in a second here to make it look like she's knitting the costume like she is in the ride. And I throw in a few, I think only one little 4th of July banner just to kind of reinforce that is today's date in this scene. So yeah, apologies again for messing that up, and today's episode is a bit of a shorter one because of that, but I feel like the beginning part of putting in the walls really isn't that interesting anyway. So here we're giving her the little clothing piece that she is supposed to be knitting. It's kind of hard to get her to look like she's doing that, but I did my best. Now we're going to put in a street pole, and this is supposed to be some sort of gutter or electrical beam thing. There's a bunch of clutter in this scene, so I'm just kind of having to guess. We flip over one of those cannons to make a nice little table next to her that we're just going to put some general clutter on. Give her a little basket, and this is all pretty standard stuff. Nothing really that different from what we've been doing in the first two scenes. Just kind of build the person, put some clutter around them, make it look like the time period, and that's just what we're doing. I moved this banner over just because it was hiding the details in the top of the balcony. And this side scene, I can't say I'm totally happy with. It came out alright, it does its job. In general, this scene though in the show has the worst side scenes in my opinion. They're all kind of boring and not really about the technology, so I did my best. Here we're actually building a mannequin. I wanted to use one of the animatronics that it actually kind of looked like a person. Here is supposed to be a mannequin that's wearing the George Washington outfit. So I found that the red coat, which is kind of ironic to have the red coat be George Washington, but hey, it had the hat and it looked the closest that I could find to that kind of style. So I guess George Washington's gonna have to be British for the time being. And then we cover up his face with a little art shape. It looks kind of silly, but I think we turn it around the other way. This was the best way I could think of to make it look like a mannequin, so it'll have to do. And then we just move that into place. I had to make the head a little bit wider because his ears were still sticking out. But yeah, so there's not much to this scene actually. It's pretty much just the wife making the costumes out on the porch. So pretty simple compared to some of the other scenes from the 1900s. And then now we're just making a nice simple porch light. I go with one of these kind of mining lanterns, and then we use a little candy piece as the topper and then connect that to the ceiling. And then to match the theme of the rest of the scene, I wire that up to that metal pole we put in earlier. And now we do a quick part that I mentioned in the last video that I forgot to do or never got around to doing, which is just quickly putting the background on the windows so that you cannot see the random stuff that's going on behind those. Another quick editing fail, I forgot to start the recording again when I started this scene. All you missed was me putting in the wallpaper, the window with some curtains, all self-explanatory, and then the grandpa sitting in the rocking chair, so you didn't miss out on much, don't worry. And this is the room where the grandpa and the son are listening to the record player or radio or some type of weird music contraption. I'm really not sure which one it is. This painting, I tried forever to get something that wasn't a flower painting, but after probably an hour of just trying to think of how I could do this, I eventually just settled for flowers because the flower paintings work well. They're 1 or 2 pieces, whereas if I actually made a detailed painting out of smaller pieces, it would turn into an absolute nightmare amount of pieces. So there we just put the flowers in the painting, and now we start on the music box thingy thing. So we get some wooden poles. It's kind of this big brown wooden box, and then it has the top open. It looks like a record player to me more than a radio. We use these large trim pieces as the sides of it. And there's a little bit of detail in the front that we have to put in. The top half kind of has this ornate design, and then the bottom half is a drawer that you can open. So there's a little handle on there. So here we make that ornate design just using one of these wooden bracket pieces. And then on the bottom we use a Christmas ornament to make the handle, and then the billboard pieces like we did in the last scene to make the hinges. Now we put on the lid, and for that I just used one of these temple statue pieces colored brown. And I think this came out pretty well. I put in a little record there. You can't see into it when you're actually watching the show, but I'm guessing it's a record player. And then a candy cane for the little stand that holds the top up. And now we're going to put in the most jank part of this entire build so far. I had to get one of the animatronics to look shorter, because it's supposed to be a short kid standing on top of the ottoman, kind of looking into the record player or radio. So I just end up sinking in one of the animatronics and then building it some little basic shape shoes. It's so ridiculous, I know, but I don't know any other way to make a child animatronic because there aren't any in the game. So I do eventually take out those basic shapes and put in some more shoe-looking shoes using the wooden brackets, but it still looks silly to have his knees right above his feet. From far away it's not that bad, but watching this back it's pretty funny. And you'll get to see the way it looks when it's all finished in the cinematic shots. I don't think I did the fixing the shoes on camera. And lastly, we put in a little chair here. Sorry, not a chair. I put in a little table. I am not doing well today. We put in a little table and then a nice lamp on the table. Fix up some lighting, and then I think that is about it for the 1920s scene. So I'm definitely looking forward to next weekend, where I'll hopefully get more of this done. Next up is the 1940s, and then after that I have to decide whether I want to do a modern scene or if I want to do like the classic 1960s, 1970s last scene. So I will be thinking about that and deciding what I want to do there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this project so far. It's been a good, kind of unique project for me to do. Very different style of thing, and I'm really enjoying it. So here we are at these cinematic clips of the 1920 scene. So again, I just want to thank you all for the support and for watching the videos. I really do appreciate all the comments and new subscribers that I've been getting on this channel. And thank you guys, and I will see you in the 1940s.